In NTUC, we have 3 priorities for this year: jobs, jobs, and jobs. Jobs for those people who are displaced today, jobs for those people who might be displaced tomorrow. But let us be frank with ourselves. Grants and subsidies alone won't create jobs, especially sustainable jobs. Grants and subsidies, as Minister Iswaran said yesterday, enable and help, but the crux must come from our businesses, our access to markets, our innovation. How good our businesses are depends on the following: how innovative we are, how bold we dare to venture beyond Singapore, how good our workers are to keep pace with the demand for the new skills, how good our regulatory environment is to groom and enable new businesses. When we look at our budget, this is what we see. MTI, MOM, MOE, and many other agencies are all focused precisely on all these 4 basic fundamental issues to support our businesses: enable innovation, enable internationalization, enable skills future, and enable a more progressive regulatory environments for startup businesses. So the businesses are not alone in this. The workers must come on board. The government agencies must come on board. And this is where it leads me to the CFE. Madam, if I have your permission, I'd just like to show a simple slide.
Yes,
a trimaran sailboat. I found this to be a simple way to remember the 7 CFE strategies, what Minister Heng Swee Keat called it the 7 mutually reinforcing strategies. The 2 sails are our engine to propel the boat forward. One of them is skills future, how good our workers can be. But skills future cannot be alone. We need the equivalent on the business side, the enterprise future, as the other sail. These are our 2 enabling strategies. NTUC, as the apex organization, will mobilize our workers, work with the IHLs, work with MOM, work with MOE, to make sure that we train up a new generation of workers ready for tomorrow. And I hope that SBF and the other trade associations will similarly perform the role for businesses, so that not only will we have a skills future program, we will couple that with an enterprise future program. The 3 skiffs that make up the trimaran are essentially our 3 core strategies to make ourselves a more balanced, more diversified economy. The first, how to use our advantage in urban planning, city development, as a marketable strategy to sell skill sets and relevance expertise to the rest of the world. How do we use internationalization to broaden our markets, to transcend our geography and finite resource limitation? How do we use digital to again transcend our geography, create new resources, create new competitive advantages for ourselves? But the 2 things that tie this all together are simply this: our ability to implement our industry transformations maps well, because they cover 80% of our sectors. And we know that implementation is key. Estonia also has a digital strategy. The challenge is not who comes up with a better plan. The challenge is who can execute the plan well, who can execute the plan faster, and who can adapt when conditions change. Last but not least, tripartism, partnership. We work together, we solve the problems together, we'll get there better than anyone else. How fast we sail, how good we are able to ride the waves, depends on our teamwork, depends on how well we can read the waves of change over and beyond how well the boat is designed or how well the plan is. What about the jobs for tomorrow? NTUC will not come to this budget and ask MOM for more money per se. MOM, MOE, MOF have been very supportive. Over and beyond money, what the labor movement wants to work with our IHLs and our businesses are as follows. Number one, we want to strengthen the job placement system for everyone. We want to challenge ourselves that between NTUC, between WSG, between EDB, and all other government agencies, including our partners in SNAF, to form that national database at the back end. It doesn't matter which career center you go to. We will integrate the back end. We're even prepared to work with agencies like LinkedIn to ensure that we do our placement well and do it faster. But placement are only for current day's job, putting today's unemployed into today's job. Most importantly, we have to prepare to help tomorrow's unemployment into tomorrow's job. And that we have to do well to overcome the potential structural unemployment. This is the reason why NTUC is raising $200 million on top of what we have in our NTUC Education and Training Fund to work with our IHLs on national modules, stackable modules, just-in-time module. This, I think, will require a national effort. We need to do much better, and we can do much better. I've always never been entirely satisfied with our speed to market for generating new modules that are relevant to the industry needs. But this is not a finger-pointing exercise. This is a call for the labor movement to work closely with the government agencies and the businesses to come together. If we are not satisfied with the speed to market, we work on it, we improve, we fix it. Because at the end of the day, it affects the livelihoods of our workers, not just today, but tomorrow. So we are not going to talk about theories. We want to get things done. Protection, many of the labor MPs have spoken about. There are new forms of employment, freelancers, contract workers. We need new mental models to help these workers protect their legal rights, financial rights, help them to plan for their retirements and so forth. This is why MOM is initiating a work group with the businesses, with the labor movement, to study the implications of such long-term structural changes to our employment market. And we have to get this right. And the labor movement will fully support the MOM initiative to review our system to make sure that all working people, regardless of workers, freelancers, contractors, can have the peace of mind for today and for tomorrow. Finally, jobs for tomorrow will require us to work very hard on productivity. I visit 1 to 2 companies every week. There's no magic bullet to raise productivity just by macro policy measures. Macro policy measures enable. But what is most important is that each and every business has to re-examine its business processes together with the workers, together with management, to raise the productivity. It's a hard slog. It's not easy, but we are committed to do this. This is where the 23 industry transformation maps come in. They are the amalgamation of the efforts of government, business, and the labor movement. We get this right, we move the needle for 80% of the market. If we don't get this right, there will be no productivity gains and no sustainable wage increases for our workers. So we have to work hard on this, and the labor movement will do it with our partners in MOM and the government agencies and our business partners. Now, next, let me touch on the kind of society that we aspire to be. I think it's all very good, and I'm very proud that all members in this House always mention these 2 words when it comes to the kind of society we want to be. Inclusive, mobile. We want to be inclusive, to take care of one another, regardless of our starting position in life. We want to give everybody a fair chance. We want social mobility, and that is what defines Singapore. That regardless of ancestry, connections, race, language, and religion, we can all succeed so long as we put in the effort and we have the necessary talent. Everyone has a fair chance. But every time when we talk about the difficult issue of tax increase, or for the matter, even taxes, we hear a lot of calls from many members to say, can you give a bit more to some sectors of society? On one hand, I'm very proud that the members of this House are representing residents in your community, speaking up for them. But on the other hand, we must also all have a care. Because, remember what we talk about the budget? Going forward, for every dollar that we give more to someone, it actually means a dollar less to someone else. If we are all politicians, we will all speak up for those who need more. But if we are political leaders, then we have to face the issue squarely. That in every society, how do we distribute the finite resources that we have? How do we make that statement that we as a society will lean forward to help those who need a bit more help? The weak, the vulnerable, the poor. That we don't need to be apologetic, that we will lean forward for the weaker segment of our population. And because we say we lean forward to the weaker segment of our population, the poorer segment of our population, it means that some of us who are more privileged will have to foot a bigger bill. Is that the right thing to do? I think so. But it takes courage. It takes political leadership to tell our people that we all aspire to a higher goal, beyond what's in it for me. Or we can compare this with other countries. There are no shortage of examples near and far. When prices goes up, or when prices need to go up, everybody pretends that we will subsidize everybody equally. But is it true? Is it fair? We don't have to look too far. Take fuel subsidy as an example. Where has that gotten some of these countries? The rich got more subsidies than the poor. Is that the kind of society that we want? No. We say that we let the prices float up to the market price. Whatever we collect, we concentrate, we focus the help on those who need it most. But I can understand there will always be a quarrel as to who need it more. But at least let's get the principle right. Then let's carry the ground. There will always be somebody who are more in need of us. And we can do our part for them.